Hello all, it is Mr. D, Guild Daddy D, Daddy D, or just plain D. Welcome to the channel. For those of you who are new, I try to go over all the global labs and NAEU patch notes, as well as events, as well as how-to guides, fishing guides, weekly contests, etc. Today we are going to be covering the latest patch notes from global labs, diving right in. The added content related to the inability to move the mouse during the use of a skill, fix the Fig coefficient group classification of plum classes. You'll have to excuse my translations if you are new here. Add an example for the rules of applying special damage effects. So reorganization of combat classes. As guided or as stated in the 2025 Heidel Ball, the battle system of Black Desert has been revamped. The reorganization revolves around items that are considered problematic among the various elements that make up the Battle of Black Desert. Due to the nature of the Black Desert combat system, where multiple elements are having a complex impact, we will inform you that all of the associated elements have been coordinated together. The purpose of this reorganization of the combat system is to focus on further refinement of the structure of the combat system itself. The performance of the adventurers when they played each class was adjusted to ensure that they kept the level as high as possible before the update. However, we think a lot of things can change and get a few different experiences. After the update, we will continue to check the opinions of the adventurers and data in the game closely. In the future, we'll do our best to give adventurers more fun adventures. So, reduce the deviations in the basic ability value applied at all times by class. So the deviation of the base stats given for each class is adjusted to decrease. So increase attack damage, defense reduction, and special damage increase. And you can check the details of the item in the class change guide. So special damage effects are superimposed according to the rules below. The special damage effect obtained by the skill and the special damage effect of the skill specialization are overlapping. Each individual special damage effect, back attack, increased crit damage, etc., will not be overlapped. However, individual special damage and all special damage effects are overlapped. For example, critical damage increase and all special damage increase effects are overspended? I don't know, the translation must be horrible there. Example 2, increase in back attack damage plus 10% and increase in back attack damage plus 15% will not be superimposed. Only the plus 15% of back attack damage will be increased. Example 3, increase in back attack damage plus 10% and damage increase plus 5% increase in critical strike damage. So, basically what this is saying is that you can't stack things like the special damage effects. It's only going to take the highest one you have. So change the resistance and resistance ignore ability values. Resistance stats are changed to not apply in PvP and the resistance stats are removed. According to resistance related changes, the effect of some classes of passive techniques with increased resistance or resistance override effects have changed. As a result of resistance related changes, the effect of the skill with resistance increase or resistance override effect among the unique buff techniques of some classes has changed. As a result of resistance related changes, the ability value has been removed or changed in some classes of skills with increase, decrease, or ignored effects. You can check the details of the item in the class change guide. So the base resistance value of all characters is unified to 20%. The base resistance of the Berserker, Wizard, and Witch classes is unified to 20%. Change grabs. So as the resistance and resistance efficiency stats change, the following changes are applied to skills that have a grab effect during status or higher. Every grabbed skill adds an effect that will allow you to specify that it is a grab technique. So basically, it's a wind-up animation. The near and far grabs are adjusted to take 3 seconds for the preceding action. The dashing grab is adjusted to take 4 seconds for the preceding action, or 0.3 and 0.4. The grab success failure decision is changed to apply immediately after attempting the grab. In the event of a grab failure, all characters are commonly applied to super armor, and you can do different actions after 0.4 seconds. 0.3 seconds of pre-grab actions can be rotated by the character according to the camera direction. However, Nova's Noose of Retribution, the Serpent's Trap, and Sage's detaining skills are not allowed to rotate in the direction of the camera, only immediately after casting, and the character cannot be rotated thereafter. Corsair's Art of Trapping the Heart can be rotated when cast, however, when using this skill after other skills, the same rules apply as above. A grab skill failure in some classes has been changed to cause the failed action. Warrior, Catch Meckle, Valkyrie, Punishing Techniques, Ninja Kuno, Fall of the Dead, Ninja, Flash Cover, and I tried to catch it with the Sky's kicking skill of the Gold Lang, but the behavior that comes out when I failed has changed naturally. It has been modified to gently lead to other skills since the skill failure. Other skills can be used after a 0.4 second cooldown. Change the formula to count summons damage. Change the summoner's special damage bonus to apply to the summoner's damage. Change the amount of damage to the summoner's amplification effect buff to be applied. For example, the Izrahydride Plateau, the Tungrgrad Historic Site, and the Guy Pinkrasi Underground. In PvP, the summoner's attacks have been changed to ensure that the target's monster-related stats, for example monster damage reduction, monster damage, etc., are not applied. Changed to make the summons not stronger in nighttime. As a result of the official change in the calculation of summons damage, the default amount of damage to the summoner has been adjusted to ensure that the last damage of the summoner has a similar efficiency to the previous one. Summoner directly attacks with the exception of black elemental skills, and damage to the skill has been reduced by 36.5%. Hit rate and eliminate avoidance rate. Intuitively, we have integrated the ability values of the characters divided into hit gravity, hit rate, dodge, and evasion. The hit rate has been removed and replaced by 4 hit force per 1% of the existing hit rate. The evasion rate has been removed and replaced with the evasion force 4 per 1% of the existing evasion. I'm going to be honest with you, there's a ton of information and a ton of changes that they're doing as we read through this. A lot of this is just we're going to have to get a feel for it. So the next big one is restrict mouse movement during skill use. The use mouse move feature has been changed to make it unusable during the use of a skill. When you're gathering and moving, you could still use it as before, but while your weapon is out and you're trying to use skills, you cannot use mouse movement. So change by class. Infinite skilled 1 through 4, adding an effect of plus 18 for each skill step. So we're getting plus hit gravity is a bad translation. I believe that's going to be hit percentage. So now when you hit K, every class has the infinite mastery. Right now it gives HP and accuracy rate. I think it's just going to be each one's going to give plus 18 accuracy per level. The warrior. Let's see, following the reorganization of resistance and neglect figures, the following effects of the skills have been changed. Increase all resistances plus 40% has been changed to increase max health plus 1500. On the warrior, the effect of the skill has been changed to mitigate the damage deviation between characters and went from increases all damage from plus 10, 10, 16 to all attack increases of 12, 20, and 28. And decreases in the skill factor of the Victory Warrior class by 4.41% due to increased damage. On the Awakening, the Berserker, following the reorganization of resistance and neglect figures, the following effects of the skills have been changed. Instead of increase all resistances plus 40, he gets another 500 maximum health. And instead of increase all damage plus 30, he gets all attack plus 45. Bayonet training, the effect of the technique has been changed to mitigate the damage deviation between characters. So plus 26, and plus 3 all attack damage increases. And this is still for the warrior, so don't get confused when I said berserker. Ruthless, the effect of the skill has been changed to alleviate the special damage deviation between characters, so you get crit damage increased by 5%. And with Bayonet Wall, you get all attacks plus 32. So Ranger, instead of increase all damage plus 6, is going to be increase all damage plus 20 on the mental healing of the spirit. The skill factor of the Ranger class has been modified or has been reduced by 5.11% due to increase of damage. The Will of the Wind, the ability all armor reduction 30 is going to all defense reductions 25. Invocation of the Earth, ranged hit increase for 20 seconds has been reduced to 4, 8, 12, 16, and 20 for 30. And under Awakening, same thing, armor reduction is changed to defense reduction. Sork, instead of increase all resistance and ignore all resistance, you're getting increased damage. For the Advent of the Abyss, for the skill Black Rung, damage increased by 2.5%, added +5 magic bonus damage. And for Reaper, more damage instead of the resistances. For Zerk, Axe of Destruction, the Destroyer of the Radiance. Proximity attack increases +16, goes to increased melee attack. The skill factor of the giant class has been reduced by 4.4% due to increased damage levels. For Beasting, increase all resistance is changing to more health. So you're going to get more defense and more health. For Destruction of Light, you get more melee attack. For Colossus, instead of the resistances, you get more melee damage. And the effect of the skill has been changed to mitigate the damage deviation between characters. Explosive is going to be increased melee attack. So this looks like, I want to say this is the Lan, the Gem Su Rang. We can tell by the class picture. And the skill New Year's Eve, instead of the resistance, you're going to get more health. Magic attack is going to increase. And defense reduction is going to stay the same. You're going to get more evasion instead of resistances on your Black Tiger Runaway. Magic attack and defense reductions. Musa. Instead of ignoring knockback, you're getting all attack. Increase all resistances are just being deleted from the Typhoon's Eye, and you're going to get all attack +30 increase. Your Frightening skill is going to get more attack damage, and as damage is increased, the skill factor of the Musa class has been reduced by 3.7%. I'm wondering if this skill factor that they're talking about is the overall damage. It might just be the skill points, I don't know. The Soul in the Musa, instead of getting resistances, you're getting more evasion. So for the Plum, instead of ignoring knockback, you're getting more attack. You're losing your ignore resistances. Increase all damage when Red Sword is activated +10 is actually going to double. For the Plum Shin Sword, increase all damage is going to go up to attack +35. Skill factor has been reduced by 5.1% due to increased damage. All the red gravity gains when the Plum Red Sword is activated has been changed so that it does not overlap with all other increased red gravity effects. And then during Awakening Oppression, instead of all armor reduction, you get all defense reductions, and it has been reduced a bit. Velk. Resistance to all conditions 100% is eliminated off Alien's protection. All special extra damage has been decreased a bit. The Ring of Heaven, all the effect of increasing the hit gravity of the skill has been changed. So it went down from 20, 40, 60 for 20, 40, 60 seconds down to 12, 12, 20, 20 increments. Breath of Heaven, all the effect of increasing the hit gravity of the skill has been changed for 20 increments for 60 seconds to 20 increments for 60 seconds, so it really doesn't sound like a change. Let's see, Noble Resolution, increase all resistances has been changed to health. Ensla's Glory, a ton of health, 1500 plus another 200. Defenses have been doubled, and increase the amount of natural recovery of the Sacred Power has been deleted. Awakening, Noble Spirit, increase all resistances has been changed to health, natural recovery plus 200. And Forward Guard Super Armor during the sprint. Defense has been increased from 20 to 50, and increased the amount of natural recovery has been deleted. Mortal Dash, the knockdown resistance reduction effect has been removed when the strike is successful. And Divine of Ensla, increased melee damage from 20 to 28. And there's that skill factor of the Awakening Velk. Ninja, following the reorganization of resistance and neglect figures, the following effects of the skill has been changed. Ignore all resistances have been changed to increase back attack damage, down attack damage, and air attack damage. Fixed an effect that allowed all the gain of the skill to overlap with all other red gravity increment and effects. I think red gravity is Black Spirit Rage. Kuno, the Crescent's River, fixed an effect that all increased effects of the Insul deployment skill had overlap with other. Okay. Awakening. Let's see, the effect of the skill has been changed to mitigate character-to-character damage and special damage deviations. For the Light Shoe, strike crit damage of the fourth wheel 5% is deleted, and your mind attack plus 20 effects has gone to a proximity attack plus 24. Wizards, increase magic attack has been decreased down from 12 to 8 on the mental training. And during the description of the area of protection technology, the resistance related phrases were deleted. Under the, let's see, this is your succession. For ground response, abilities, effect change to mitigate character-to-character defense reduction has gone from 15 to 20. River balance collapse, defense plus 15 has been changed to armor, reduces armor on attack plus 20. Awakening, upgrading. The effects of the skill has been changed to mitigate the damage deviation to characters. So magic attack went from 6, 8, 10, 12 to 4, 6, 8, 10. And upsetting has gone from attack defense plus 15 to reduce armor on attack plus 20. Witch. Mental training. Increase magic attack from plus 12 down to magic attack plus 8. For succession, attack damage plus 15 went to reduce armor on attack plus 20 for basically everything. And awakening, same thing. Dark Knight. The effect of the skill has been changed. Crit damage increased by 10%. Changed to increase all damage plus 15. I believe this is a striker, is a martial artist. So increase all resistances on the quiet opening 30%. Change to increase all evasion. Health recovery when using this skill is plus 500 to 15, plus 1500 health recovery. Red Canine, increase all damage plus 4, 8, 12, 20 has been changed to 4, 12, 20, 28 all attack. Knee Hammer, increase all damage 4, 12, 20 to 12, 20, 28. So it looks like overall the striker's getting a buff on some attack damage. Awakening for the Tushin Cap training, increase all damage has basically doubled. Elongated Angle, the increase all damage plus 16 went to an attack plus 28. And the Tushin skill, instead of increasing all resistances, you get all attack. Mystic, for succession, increased all damage plus 20, changed to attack plus 28. The Narak Bunchu skill, increase all damage 8, 12, 20 to 12, 20, 28. And Awakening, for the Gam Rung Hua skill, instead of the resistances, that's been deleted. Health recovery from when using this skill went from 500 to 1500, and increase all defenses plus 20 went to plus 50. And the Changpa skill, increase all damage 4, 10, 16 went from 12, 20, 28. The Lan, straightforward leave skill went from all hit rate 5% to all attack. Succession, Dance of the Half Moon, increase all resistances plus 30%, got changed to all attack plus 20. And Awakening the Destroyer, instead of resistances plus 50, you're getting evasion plus 80. So Archer, for Sylvia's Grace skill, you're going from attack plus 12 to attack plus 20. The Breathe skill, range attack plus 12 to increase all attack plus 20. And Explosion of the Splendor, defense reduction plus 15 is being changed to defense reduction plus 20. Shy basics attack damage changed from 47 to 53. Get out of Shy, all attacks of the skill increase effect and stronger harder. All damage bonus effects in the skill have been changed so that they are not duplicated. Stronger and harder skill, the next effect of the skill is changed. Instead of increased all attack plus 30, you get all attack plus 40. All special damages added plus 5% has been changed to all special damages added plus 2%. Fast 2, Finger 3, Fall 3. The effect of the skill has been changed from defense reduction 35 only for monsters, 10% defense only for players, just to a base 20 armor reduction. For the skill Cloud, change the duration of all defense and all evasion reduction effects 30 seconds to 1 minute. All armor reduction effects have been changed, so instead of damage reduction 10%, it's going to damage reductions 20. All armor reductions are increased by up to 35 when brush is enhanced. No more armory of any other skill. All evasion reduced effects are overlapping. The cooldown is changed from 3 minutes to 1 minute. Guardian. The Wind in the Skin. Crit damage is deleted and increase all attack from 12 to 20. Succession. Frosted Axe. Increase all damage plus 5 gets changed to all attack plus 10. Removal of the claws gets deleted of the crit damage. And then Awakening, increased crit damage. The skill factor of the Guardian has been increased by 4.3%. Assassin, For Succession, on the Revelator of the Sand, ignore resistances has been deleted, and he's getting increased max health plus 100. And the Apostolic Covenant, increase all resistance 30% has been changed to 60 evasion, and the 30% ignore resistance has been changed to 15% attack speed. Nova, Succession, the Dark of the Cold, increase all damage plus 12 has been changed to all attack 28. Protector of Kratom, increase grab resistance 30% has been deleted. Distorted Guard has been increased grab resistance 30% has been changed to increase max health plus 750. And then Awakening, break through the Singularity, crit hit damage has been deleted, and increase all attack has been changed from 30 to 40. Sage, Awakening, the Brainization, ignore all resistances plus 30% has been changed to increase crit strike chance by 50%. Rising Power, decreased knockdown resistance when hit successfully has been deleted. And Lightning Current Chain Enhancing has been armor reduction plus 30 has been changed to armor reduction plus 25. Corsair Succession, the Power of the Tsunami, increase all resistances plus 50% has been changed to all evasion plus 60. Tricania, the common skills, Mark to Non-Skeleton, crit damage has been deleted. Increase all attack 12 has been changed to 20. Succession and Awakening, not many changes. Megu, Awakening, School, crit damage, plus 2.5, 5, and 10% has been changed to increase magic attack to plus 4, 8, 12. Scholar, the common skills for Jin Kick, proximity attack increases plus 6, 10, 16, 24 has been pretty much kept the same. Dosa, common skills for Zhong Dong, increase all resistances plus 8% has been increase all redness 20%. So I'm reading that redness as maybe attack or Black Spirit Rage. Gonna have to check on that when the translation comes through. Succession, River, Zhong Dong, crit damage plus 2.5% has been changed to all attack plus 5. And Awakening, the Vawiwi, ignore all resistances plus 10% has been changed to increase all defense plus 30. Deadeye, common skills, the Way of the Kernary, increase range damage plus 20 has been changed to all attack plus 30. The Weak, the Evil, the Ugly has been changed from armor reduction plus 30 to armor reduction plus 25. Inheritance, superior coefficient is a percentage of damage that's applied when one class hits another. In the past, these coefficients had quite a number of deviations per class. Now the basic upper factor for all classes is changed to 89.29% to make it more intuitive and easier for adventurers to enjoy PvP. However, in order to preserve the roles and individuality of each class, the classes are divided into 3 groups: Guardian, Crush, and Blind, so that each class can be added to each other with 5% more damage depending on the group status. So, damage ratios determine the percentage of one class deals to another. These ratios vary significantly across classes. To make PvP more intuitive and balanced, all classes now share a base damage ratio of 89.29%. So it looks like there's going to be a Vanguard, Skirmisher, and Pulverizer. So that could be Guard, Rash, or Onslaught. I've also heard it called basically like Shield, support, tank, and I don't know, pick one, ranged. Each class in the Black Desert classified Awaken have been divided into 3 groups: Guardian, Soldier, Blind, and the formation between each group is applied as follows. So depending on where you are, you do more damage to certain groups. So for instance, the tank class here, and then you have the, let's see, Onslaught. Yeah, it really depends on Awakening and Succession. So like for instance, Victory is Succession, Succession, Zerk, Velk, Striker, Guardian, Nova, Corsair, Draconia, Warrior are all Guard, while as Awakening, Velk, Mystic, Shy, Guardian, and Scholar. And then Rush is Succession, Dark Knight, Mystic, Musa, Megu, Dosa, Awakening, Warrior, Sork, Ranger, blah 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 blah. So how it works is they're making it more unified, I guess is the easiest way to say this. So Guard's going to get 5% extra damage to Onslaught, Rush is going to get 5% extra damage to guard, and Onslaught's going to get 5% extra damage to rush. All basic upper rate coefficients change the same, the PvP damage ratio with the skills of each class will be adjusted. This is to ensure that you will have the maximum similar experience after the change in the basic factor coefficient, and the adjustment's width of the damage rate is proportionate to the average upper factor adjustment of the class. However, if the PvP damage coverage rate is 100%, both PvE and PvP damage will be increased. The PvP damage rate in the Shy class increased by 38.14% compared to the previous average factor coefficient, which is applied to increase the PvP damage of the Shy class by 38. So this says basically, let's see, Shy. So everybody got a buff. The biggest buff will be Gemsu Rang, which would be 23%. Yeah, they're changing a ton, so this is just going to take some getting used to. I think everybody's class is going to play a lot different. I think a lot of people are going to have to adjust. I mean, for so long, people have been chasing the whole evasion versus, DP versus, accuracy, etc., etc. So, changes related to the system. The species and damage phrases have been changed more clearly. So additional damage to the humans has been changed to additional human race attack. Damage to Camisylvia, all races extra damage, and additional damage to Ains. Added adventure, additional attack power. So instead of human for PvP, now it's going to be attack damage to adventurers specifically. Bonus monster extra damage. When the damage is greater than 310, bonus monster damage is added to each excess damage. As a result, some assistive weapons have been increased to additional damage effects. So, you're going to get bonus monster damage. So for instance, the Black Star at Pen used to give 67, it's now going to give 171. God Eye is going to give the same. Tuvula accessories, and so those are all going to go up. Same thing with Kudum accessories. Eliminate resistance ignoring effects. As a resistance ignore effect is deleted, the effect of some items have been changed. So Kudum, before, ignore all resistances, now all resistances plus 10%. Modifications of Black Horsepower Hit. It used to ignore all resistances and give attack plus 8. Now it's going to give all attack plus 12, it looks like. Elcar is going from ignore resistances and, let's see, is that accuracy plus 12? And now it's going to give accuracy plus 18. Modified Elcar went from, now it's going to give accuracy plus 30. Kudum's, looks like the Kudum statue went from ignore all resistance plus 5, now it's just going to give you plus 5% of resistance. Manos White Coral Belt, ignore all resistances, now gives you all resistances. And Rosar set effect, instead of ignore resistances, it's giving you all accuracy plus 20. So it gives you an example of the Elcar and the Kudum statue and the Kudum shield. The ignore resistance effect has been removed from the items, so basically everything. Some effects of the Kron meals of the easy to wear outfit have been changed. Before, down attack damage plus 5%. After the change, plus 5% damage amount and plus 5 crit damage. Items with resistance override effects have been removed. Deleted items will be paid in silver coins equivalent to the value of the consolidated exchange silvers. So these are some magic stones, basically a lot of gemstones. Solare's window only modification has been deleted. Revision of so anything with resistances on Solar's equipment. The essence of Valor, which was used to create the resistance ignore effect item, has been removed. Depending on the amount of items that you have in your position, will we pay you silver coins to the warehouse of the integrated exchange. The essence of Valor will give you 30 million. The fragments of Valor will give you 50 million. Silver coins will also be paid if you have a box that can definitively obtain the essence of Valor, which is the Guild League victory boxes. And the Essence of Valor has been removed from the item exchange list below for Medals of Honor, Solaire coins, and Ellie Special Seal. Eliminates resistance increase effect. Deleted items will be paid in silver coins equivalent to the value of the market as of July 18th. So let's see, Lightstone of Earth Sand, modifications of Solidity, Red Battlefield Gem, modifications of, so basically anything that can give you resistances. Also ruby necklaces, Manos ruby necklaces. Remove the Lightstone effect. Anything that can give you resistances. As the Lightstones were deleted, the following combinations could be attained using the deleted Lightstones were deleted. So if you were using anything that gave you resistances, that's going to be deleted. Guild skills. The guild skill that can be used before the main battle's occupation have been removed. Distress of the Warrior. All resistances plus for 3 minutes plus 10%. The guild points consumed by skills have been returned. The location of the skill has changed. Adjust the amount of damage on the ship. In line with today's reorganization of the combat system, the ship's technology and the amount of artillery damage has also been adjusted overall. In particular, the amount of damage that ships inflict on other vessels has been reduced by about 45 to 55% compared to the existing. And the damage reduction rate has been added to some item effects on the ships. This is a measure that takes into account the balance of the blue battlefield, which is the basically marine PvP battle that is expected to be updated soon. Due to the excessive amount of damage between existing ships, it was determined that careful balance adjustments were necessary because the blue battlefield, where many ships participated in the battle, could cause the ship to be destroyed too quickly. In addition, the add damage to ships and add ocean monsters options, which were present in some ship-related equipment such as seaweed and artillery, have been integrated based on ancestry monsters' additional damage. This adjustment is intended to ease the burden of equipment setting that each of the two items had to be prepared and has been improved to respond more efficiently to both ocean monsters and ship battles. After the update, we will continue to monitor. So attacks using ships have been changed to damage reduced by 45 to 55% in other ship attacks. The damage in ocean monster attacks is the same as before. Added a badge of damage reduction in the description of the armor and player of the ship item. Added damage to the ship and additional damage to ocean monsters during the marine stone effect. Changes to both ocean monsters to apply to seaweed stones with additional damage or additional damage effects on ships. So yes, delete a status or more resistance effect for monster. In the existing environment, if a monster attacks above the state, the decision on whether to defend against resistance is based on the resistance, and the status of abnormality resistance level of the monster is applied, respectively, and the final decision is made twice. With the reorganization of the battle system, the status or effect resistance has been changed to only the monster, so the concept of status or level resistance for monsters has been removed, and the effect of the item with that stat has been changed to all resistance effects. So for instance, the Elixir of Resistance that used to give you plus 10% resistance to monsters now just gives 5% resistance, and it goes down through the list. Changes to monsters and hunting grounds. Recommended attack damage change in PvEs, so Jade Starlights goes from 260 to 270. Basically everything's been raised. Well, not everything. Jade Starlight, City of the Dead, Elvia, Grunt Hill, Temple of the Crescent Shrine, Valley of Olin's Valley, Dekia Ash Forest, Dekia Kadri Runes, Tungrid, Goblin Forest, Dark Follower Bed, Golden Pig, and Dekia Ash Forest has been increased by like 5 to 10, most of them. Changes to the maximum attack power limit in the PvE grind spots. Maximum damage limit has been changed, and only 5% of player attack damage has been increased to more than the Hunter's maximums. Okay, so what this is this limits, you can't overstack anymore your AP. So like at Miramox, recommended is 190, maximum attack was 380, now it's 560. So I don't know how that's going to play out. There's a lot of changes here. Like for instance, I happen to be stuck in history for the last 30 years. Recommended attack is 230. It used to limit you at 600. Now it's limiting you to 756. So maybe it'll apply some more of our AP. A lot of places. Histria, Kertuga, Sakraya, Tunkata, Paddocks, I mean, yeah, Jade Starlight, Olin's Valley, Ash Forest, Crypt, Hex, Elvia, or Hex Sanctuary, Dekia Akhman, Dekia Histria, Dekia Pilaku, Dekia Sulfur, Thornwood Forest, Plateau Tunkata, yep, so ton of places. I'm hoping this means that it'll increase our grind speed. I guess we'll see. I mean, like Golden Pig, it was 340. What was this? Recommended attack is 345. Maximum attack limits are now 1350, and now they're being changed to 1540. Changes to Agris's opening figures. Last week, the Black Desert Global Labs told us that the heat coefficient of Agris was going to be adjusted to a similar level. We found that if all grind spots were to match the same amount, there would be cases where the grind spot with low silver revenue would reverse. We've adjusted the amount of Agris per hour from at least 20,000 to a maximum of 30,000, and the silver coins that you can earn when you use the heat Agris are designed to match the difficulty at the PvE grind spot. So as the grind recommended attack and maximum damage limit are subdivided, the overall grind spot's total hunting area's hot dose consumption is changed. So they changed a lot of this for like Jade Starlight Forest. They basically decreased the amount of Agris that it uses to grind. Balance adjustment by grind spot. So let's see. So this is like Dekia spots. Changes increase monster defense by 4%, increase monster health by 100%. At the Dekia spots, maybe 50%. So a lot of the PvE spots are going to see a lot of changes. The following tags have been removed from the PvE information UI: good heat efficiency in Agris. Okay, so they removed it because they're standardizing all the Agris. And Tunkata, Dekia, or Tunkata's party hunting ground second person. Okay. Tuning the hunter-monster balance. The damage formula for hunters and sniper hunters has been changed. Fixed damage was changed to apply the amount of damage, not the way it was determined between the minimum and maximum values. When the damage formula changes, the damage is increased by about 1 to 2% on average compared to the previous one, however, when applying bag attacks and crit damage. Additions and improvements. We have added Merv's portable bag, 8 compartments specializing for changing clothes, and Patriglio's extra large costume bag, 40 pieces specialized for storage. Merv's portable bag products can be purchased with loyalty, 12 times per family. Patriglio's extra large costume bag items can be purchased with loyalty, 5 times per family. The changeover function in Patriglio's costume bag, 8 pieces, has been removed. Merv's carry-on bag will be paid as the number of suitcases in Patriglio's costume bag. It has been changed so that you can't get Patriglio's costume bag from anywhere anymore, basically. So they're adding Mervs because yes, and if you have a Patriglio's, you're going to be getting a Mervs. Adventure Journal reward changes. So the Adventure Journal, which the adventurer says is in law, is important content that can raise core abilities such as attack and defense. The current Adventure Journal, which has become a must-see for Black Desert to be an essential part of its adventures, has so many rewards scattered throughout the journal that there are so many things to do. So in the future, you only need to complete one of Igor's adventure logs, except for event adventure journals, and you'll get all the stats you'll get, including attack, armor, evasion, defense, maximum, and health. Adventurers who have already completed their adventure journal will be able to receive additional modified rewards immediately. In addition, we want to add colorful titles and special rewards for the upcoming adventure journal, and optionally change it to challenge and target content. For those of you who haven't already done so, we hope you selectively challenge your adventure journals after this update to earn multiple rewards. So this is where you're going to go talk to Igor Bartali instead of basically chasing around all your adventure logs, and just do them. Do this. If you haven't done this, now is your chance. So go through. I mean, I know I'm missing the one where you got to find all the different boxes around Land of Morning Light. I'm hoping this makes it easier for me, but this is going to give you a ton of good stats. As you can see as I scroll down through here, it doesn't seem like a lot, but this is family wide, and there's a ton of stamina and health and AP and DP and all the carrying weight and all this stuff. You're just going to go talk to Igor Bartali, go talk to him, and just get it done. The Immortal Hell. In order to receive all the rewards in the Immortal Abyss, 4 quests had to be completed every day. In order to reduce the burden that comes from having to repeat a large number of requests every day, the Immortal Abyss commission has now been changed to a weekly request and only needs to be carried out once a week. In addition, the commission completion compensation has been adjusted so that you receive a similar level of compensation even if you complete it once. So so this is, let's see, believe this is the Crow's insignia thing for the, let's see here, I'm drawing a blank in my head. I haven't done it in a little while. Let's see, Pit of the Undying, thank you. So instead of doing the weekly quests, you can just do a weekly now. Improve to attack adventurers first, so the balance and directing the monsters that emerge from the Pit of the Undying has been adjusted. Change to transform into a runaway Cardoom up to once, depending on your character's health. So this is changing it so that you can just do your Pit of the Undying once a week, which is good. This is a good way to get rewards for like crow coins and things like that. Let's look at some of the other great rewards for the Pit of Undying. If you haven't gotten into the habit of doing this, you also get a cool thing that gives you, right here, Seals of the Undying. So you get a combat skill experience exchange coupon, so if you want a hard reroll, it's always good to have one of those. You get a Crow's Sacred Chest, which can give you Khan's Concentrated Magic, gives you, some miscellaneous other stuff. I know people in my guild use them for Crow Coins and Cron Stones, so you only need to get 3 of the Seals of the Undying to get 3 Cron Stones, so this is a good way to get Marnie's Unstable Fuel as well. You can get a Find Accessory box, which gives you, meh accessories now. I mean, Ogres, Tungras, and Laytons. It's worth doing this. You can also get a Resplendent Spirit Stone of Protection that's worth 136 million. It's a fun little content thing. You also get a Resplendent Spirit Stone of Destruction worth 300 million. But most of the people I know do the Pit of the Undying for either the Crow Coins or the Cron Stones. So if you haven't done this, it's basically just a 1v1. You battle bosses and knock them out. And every time you can go up to a Crow's Insignia level 5. So this is just saying it's changed the dailies. The rewards of the newly added Immortal Week commissions are as follows. 250, 40 Black Treasures of the Ravens. So 200, so that gives a ton of those seals. So this is good something to get into. Set this on your weekly calendar. In the request, the number of Black Crows required for promotion has been changed from 250 to 200. The exchange ceremony was changed when the Cron Stones were exchanged for unified goods. 3 Cron Stone exchange with 3 and exchange 1 with 1. Okay, so you can actually get even more Cron Stones now every week. So this is, if I'm reading this correctly, you should be able to get between 200 and 500 before and after Cron Stones a week. So that's definitely, and just by doing the simple quest. Highly recommend. Simplifies upfront referrals. Some of the contents of the Black Desert are set up so they can be released by completing the preceding request. We have significantly relaxed the conditions of goodwill to make it easier for adventurers to access and enjoy these contents. So Shakatu stuff, changed the Gift of the Black Spirit for the family bag. So they're making it easier for you to get your family inventory. Increase maximum weight of the family bag, so this is doing your suggested quest to get your family inventory. Nader's belt, their crystal presets, Marnie's suspicious device item transition. So for the fish tank, those of you who are catching up and are new players, this is all good stuff for you. It's just going to streamline it. Things that took us months to get, you're going to get very quickly. The green thumb, which is if you hit, let's see, in game, if you hit P and go, is it your P? And go to life skills. On the top left, you're going to see a little toggle next to gathering that says green artisan. So it gives you a set probability to initiate a mini game when you do any of your gathering, and when you succeed, you get additional energy that you spend to obtain a large amount of resources. So let's say you're chopping down trees, you get the mini game, you might get like 500 logs. So that's definitely something to camp tools. This is good. This is one of those things too where if you play the game, I would highly recommend just getting a tent. You get discounts every now and again, 20% buy a tent. It's something you're definitely going to need in the game. But if you don't have a tent, camping tools serve the purpose. Musical instrument for your shies. The Wings of the Seal Fairy Exchange, that is to get your fairy up to level 5. Musical instruments also for the shy. Getting your tier 5 pet. And your Marnie Wave. So that's all good things. They're going to be reducing the requirements. Remove NPC intimacy buff, which I believe is your Amity. Have been used in various contents such as guild leagues and stronghold battles, but on the one hand there was a rather troublesome point that was recognized as a must-have buff. To reduce the need to pay attention to this, all NPC Amity buffs, including Carolyn's, are eliminated. In the future, with the integrated preset update that is being prepared, we will try to make it easier for adventurers to enjoy the content. So Amity buffs are removed. So this gives you, for the next buffs that could be received through a conversation from the NPC, have been removed. So I guess we're not getting any of these anymore. The conditions for Amity were removed from the conditions for receiving the blessing buff for the guardianship. Oh, so you just don't need to have Amity with them anymore. Okay. Simplify the order of orders for new returned users who can receive clips, weapons, chests as a reward. And let's see. The horse's damage has been changed so the adventurer's damage is not applied together. The damage of a horse's attack skill is applied to a fixed number. The horse's attack technique has been changed to make it impossible to move the mouse during use. Okay, so mouse movement is going away with riding a horse. Node Wars, the skill, passive, and specialized buff effects that are applied to each class have been changed to be applied without being included in the stat limit. When a character receives a debuff, it has been improved to have a reduction value applied in excess of the stat. And when using an old Ballistatan, the damage amount of damage when hitting some parts of the vehicles has increased by about 1.5% compared to the previous one. And I think that's a ballista maybe. UI. Improve the UI of my abilities, making it easier and more intuitive to see the detailed stats applied to my character. You can check bonus stats based on your damage and defense stats through the View Bonus Step section button. The Executor, or this is Doom Color, has been added to the UI that displays a number of guild occupants. Find NPCs. 3 locations that were exposed as villages other than those of the Rain have been modified in the description of the land and search for the Land by Land Warehouse. Endless Winter Mountains, the Land of the Morning Light, and Ulakita. Fix the capital and the Ulakita relic information of the world map to be spelled Musgur. The display of the type of passenger in the case of horses is the processing of the abbreviation changed not to be. The in-game race expression phrase has been consistently modified. The term human race has been unified into a human race. The term ethnic has been unified into ein race, related to enhanced UI improvements. At the last Heidel Ball, we announced the enhanced UI improvements will arrive on July 30th, along with streamlining terminology enhancement. We're finalizing new features like an enhancement exclusive inventory. However, to avoid confusion when many adventurers enhance Sovereign sub-weapons and Adonis defense gear with the August Adania update, we've decided to reschedule the update for a later date to ensure everything is in polish ready. So yes, they're coming up with the unified enhancement inventory. It's being postponed. More modifications. When you click the play button immediately after clicking the music album, composition, instrument selection, note the end position of the playback bar has been improved when the end position of the playback bar was calculated to the position before you clicked on the note. Fix an issue where it was not possible to thin out immediately after connecting or selecting a character. Fixed an issue where the game would not end even though the game time has been intermittently out of Solaire's window. The Igor Bartali NPC has not acquired the knowledge of the Director Shield NPC, and the way guide to the route guide of the Logia farm has been corrected when interacting with the Zul NPC. We're going to have to just trust the translation. When producing items that require more than 6 production materials, the worker's garden technology or his garden skill was not applied smoothly. Fixed a phenomenon that worked after changing the combination key LB plus combination key RB plus R stick up down, which is the default input setting function, and the camera zoom out function was changed after changing the combination key 1 and 2, and then fixed an issue where the season characters could not be moved in the world map. So that covers it. There's a ton of combat changes. We're just going to have to see how it all shakes out. Some of the translations were horrible, and I apologize. Thank you for your patience. Like, share, comment. Stay tuned next week when we get it live on NAEU. I'll run down through this. We'll read through it. We'll kind of see how it is. Other than that, I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great evening.